The system is saying right now that they need to build 2 new high schools, and I think it is 3 new elementary schools. Of course, none of that in the Fairhope area. And they're projecting then a need for $150 to $200 million to fund that. And here is what is really pertinent. You've probably seen this. Here's a breakdown of our millage rates in Fairhope and in Baldwin County. And the problem, we want to build these $150 to $200 million worth of schools, but in order to issue bonds to build these buildings, the bonding, the folks who are going to buy the bonds are going to require the county to have an earmarked a source of revenue to amortize the bond. And that earmarked source of revenue is not currently available. All of the money that's available to amortize bonds, those dollars are spoken for. The 1 cent that we just renewed, the sales tax, is scheduled to expire in, I guess, in 4 years now, 5 years from the time that it went into effect. Plus that 1 cent is earmarked for operating funds. That's where our teachers and custodians have been restored, and if we pulled that out and diverted it to amortizing bonds, it would have a disastrous impact. So therein lies a dilemma, and what the county is getting ready to propose is an increase in ad valorem tax in order to borrow the money to build these buildings that we have to have. Here is you get this off the website. We currently in Fairhope pay 43 mills in property tax. 12 of those mills are earmarked for schools, okay, 12. Now, 6 1 year and then 1 the following year. 7 of those 12 mills, the authorization to levy that tax is about to expire in the year 16-17. So something absolutely has got to be done about that. Plus now we're talking about an additional 8 mills to amortize the projected bonds to build these new buildings, $150 million. So anyway, that's what's on the horizon. Superintendent Lee and Diana emailed us all and invited us to attend, and Jim and I and Diana were able to attend that meeting on December the 4th. So why don't you all share with us the substance of that meeting?
Well, a lot of it was, let's just say on the front end, there was Dr. Lee was very upfront about his concerns about an initiative within Fairhope for ad valorem tax. And the primary concern is that demographically, I think he actually said about a 68% vote of support on ad valorem taxes has historically been a part of what comes out of Fairhope, and he was concerned if you dilute that number, that would make it difficult to achieve the approval in the broader system if you take the Eastern Shore side and the support there. So in essence, he wanted us to know he was very concerned about the efforts we might be undertaking to look at the 3 mill in the system.
Two, it was a very good discussion because they wanted to know what types of things do we want? In other words, what were we trying to raise the money for? Mm-hmm. And could Baldwin County meet those needs during this interim before Baldwin County comes out with a should I'm not saying that, I'm not going to say what Baldwin County's going to do because they're not in the room to say so, but if Baldwin County decided that they were going to put out a referendum for an ad valorem tax increase above the renewals, were there some needs that we saw in Fairhope that they could help meet until such time that they were ready to do that, if they do that?
Just that clearly the request was for us to back off. I mean, that's, or to delay, I think.
Yeah, in the spirit of what can they do to help us achieve what we think our goals are. Yeah. There was some discussion Mayor Kent, I think, actually brought it up, would Baldwin County match the city's contribution of $350,000 current? And, Dr. Lee and the board members who were there said, that's something we can look at, but not this fiscal year.
But now Norm was shaking his head yes, but Lee was shaking his head no. So.
Lee said it's not there this year, and it would not happen in this current fiscal. And if Baldwin County does decide to try to seek a ad valorem increase, it would not be until early 2015.
In other words, the mayor in particular was working to negotiate, and he said, so you're asking for us to give up something. What are we going to get back? And I thought that was a significant turn. I was a little surprised about that. The other thing, I think that feeling was and concern. They're very concerned about us taking an initiative. That was the essence of that. But the other side of what we kept talking about money in this upcoming referendum, and there was no assurance that even in the referendum, and he's relying upon our vote, that we're going to get anything out of it.
Through the principles.
Julia, one thing that it occurs to me, the authority to move forward with a referendum with up to $3 million for a local taxing district, that authority has been in the law for years. Okay. It appears to me that the stars are aligned, that there would be some optimism that could happen for us now, or in going through a process. But it seems that certainly our city officials are favorably disposed to looking seriously at this. I don't know down the line when that would happen again. So another, I think, consideration in this entire equation is, man, if you back away from this now, you may lose the political opportunity for it to ever happen.
Right, and